One person who's requested a trade, is Pavel Menchikov out of
Mhm.
Anaheim. Um, he got healthy scratched a few times. He came back. He scored at least a goal against the Blues. Um, but he's not happy with his playing time. He doesn't want to be scratched. He's in his rookie year. Left-handed shot defenseman, more offensive than defensive. But again, he's a rookie,
Yep.
so there's going to be some growing pains with that. Um, do you have a place that you would like him, or do you have anything with Minchikov?
Um, I mean, I'd love him on the Blues. Um, we need something like that. But
Right?
where could he go? I don't know if that would ever happen. I mean, I'd love it. But we've seen what happens when some of these rookies, like, they don't get the playing time they want, or they're just completely denied. Like we see with the Ducks now, they got Cutter Gauthier, and he's playing out of his mind. So you gotta see what the future might hold for a return for him. But where could he go? Um, Hey, they're the Sharks. I mean, they're the same division, so I
Man,
doubt that would ever happen. But the young forwards that they
I
have,
love that idea.
pairing them up with the skill that they need on the back end, they don't really have all that much back there. What is it, like Sam Dickinson is probably their best defensive
Yeah,
prospect, and Macamadulin, I think, is still there.
yeah.
So those two,
Here,
and I think Dickinson is levels ahead of Macamadulin, but say you had a tandem of Dickinson and Mitnikov going into the future, that's something scary. And
yeah.
other than if I feel like if a trade's going to happen with a rookie like that, he's going to go to the other conference. So maybe you could see like a trade with the Flyers, who are trying to kind of recoup that team. I don't think their defense is all that special. They could use a guy like that back there. Maybe the Capitals too. Let's see, John Carlson's getting pretty old, and
He's
I'm
getting old.
surprised how fast the Capitals have found some pieces to like turn it around that are younger. Because I thought once Ovi was going to start getting older, his production would slow down, and the rest of that team was getting pretty old too. And they found a really good goalie in Logan Thompson. So I think maybe a trade there could be fitting. Yeah,
I
yeah. I think over in the East, probably Flyers or Capitals would be my two spots.
Yeah. I think this one's interesting because you could see a prospect for prospect swap because they've already done it. Like
Yep.
if any team knows, it's them. Um, and I also see this one where they've got a lot of young defensemen, and
Yeah.
he's kind of moved down that depth chart of those young D-men. And so if they're like, hey, we've got enough for the future, um, we're making a run at it. Like we're way better than we thought we were going to be.
Yeah.
Let's get a veteran presence in here. Maybe that's the piece they move as the centerpiece. Like, forget giving up a first round pick. We're just
Yeah.
going to
Take
move
this.
Minchikov, and that's going to be our first round equivalent. And then maybe we have to give up a later pick or a minor prospect that
Yeah.
is a long shot. But I see him being one of those guys that, maybe it's Calgary because they've
Oh
got
yeah.
stuff there that they're willing to give up. Maybe it's St. Louis. I mean, I would love him,
Yeah.
but maybe they want a Braden Shen. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's the piece they need that can play center or left wing, be a physical presence, put the body in the net, and just bring that leadership. Like I think that's a possibility. I like your ideas though. Like San Jose would be great. I
That would be
agree
awesome.
though. I don't think they're probably going to trade him in division. I could see him going staying in the West, like if it is a St. Louis or a
Yeah.
Nashville or someone. I could see that. Um, but I like that idea of the Capitals too.
Yeah.
That's pretty solid.
Now
So
that
a
now that
lot
you
of
say it
interesting
though,
choices.
that Calgary trade that makes a lot of sense. Bringing in that veteran defenseman, maybe get that Rasmus Anderson and trade Mitnikov
Yeah,
and maybe like a second or a third round pick, send it back that way. That could be enough for them to pull the
yeah,
trigger there. Because isn't his contract expiring this year? Or does he have another year?
yeah. He's got a. This is his last one.
Yeah. So they're running out of time to
And
get rid of him for
or
something.
even like if they're like maybe we need a forward, like maybe that's a team Nazim Kadri's like, yeah, I'll go there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like there's pieces whether they want a forward or they want a defenseman. There's pieces around the league that are going to be available. So he's one
100%.
that I'm very interested. Another one that's kind of in the same vein for me is Brad Lambert.
Yeah.
Um, in Winnipeg, he's been given permission for his agent to look for a trade because he's not getting playing time in the
Yeah.
NHL. And I think that's an interesting one. Former highly ranked first round pick. Um, he's got ties to the NHL. His uncle or
Yep.
dad,
I think it's his dad.
um, Lane Lambert,
Yeah.
coach. So like he's got the pedigree. He had the skill to be a top 10 pick. I can't remember where exactly, but he was a high first round pick, and so he's looking for a spot. And I think he kind of fits that same bill
Yeah.
of maybe this is a piece that we're not just going to move him, but if we can use him as like the main trade chip instead of giving up that first, um, I think that's going to be a fun one too.
Yeah.
And everyone's looking for centers. So
Hmm.
a young center with another year after this year on his ELC, um, it's going to be a high price. So I think Winnipeg's going to get something pretty solid as this
Yeah.
piece here.
I could see another thing like the Flames you were just saying. They have a lot to give up and they need a lot of things. So that could always be an
Yes, they
option
do.
there, Anderson. Or I think that if the Jets were going to make a trade with him, though, I think they would probably want Kadri over Anderson. I feel like their defense is pretty solid out there in Winnipeg. It never hurts to have a guy like that, but I feel a little more muscle up front on the attack would be good. Um, and in a really cool world, I would like to see him go to somewhere like the Senators or maybe like the Blue Jackets, bolster that young core and see what the future can bring there. I don't know what those teams would give up for that though, because I feel like as much as the Senators have been rebuilding and have a lot of those key pieces set there, I feel like the way they've been struggling, they're still a few pieces away from really being that contender. Um, but
You
if he
said
could,
something really interesting,
yeah.
and I want to throw this at you real quick. You brought up Columbus,
Hmm.
and one thing that I didn't put on my list, but I've also heard, is that Columbus would be willing to move Kent Johnson. Would that be a swap that could make sense for both teams? Just a change of scenery. It's not working out where they were drafted. Johnson for Lambert. Maybe there's a sweetener for, I
Yeah,
would
I
say
think,
probably. I
yeah.
think Columbus needs to get a little bit more because
Yeah, I
Johnson
think,
has done a little bit more to be proven.
yeah. I could
But
definitely see that. It's just that I agree with you. They would definitely need maybe a second round pick or so to make that swap because Ken Johnson has proved he can play in the NHL, whereas Brad Lambert's been struggling to get those minutes. And that may be the scheme that team plays. He doesn't fit it as much,
mhm.
but I do think they'll need a little sweetener. I could see that actually. I think that's very fair
As soon as
value.
you said Columbus, it popped into my head. I'm like,
Yeah.
Kent Johnson was listed as maybe one now. Um,
I could see that a lot.
like I love hockey trades. I
Yeah.
hate seeing the first round pick and the third round pick and the
Hmm.
conditional. I'm like, give me a player.
Yep.
Like it doesn't happen often, but I love those types of things. So